Hey everybody, Jim from Cigars and Other Dude Stuff out here in my little cigar hut. Although it's not that bad of a day, it's probably about 35 degrees and a bit breezy, but better inside the old cigar hut. Anyway, today I'm reviewing the Dunbarton Sin Compromiso. I looked up the Spanish on that and hopefully got it right. And I appreciate you guys giving me Spanish tips. I've had a couple comments where they say, no, you pronounce it this way. And I'm readily admitting Spanish is not a good thing for me, nor is really any foreign language. I got to tell you this story. I was in Mexico and I went to a restaurant and I had been boning up on my Spanish and I thought I was getting pretty good. And I said to the waiter, un más agua, por favor. And that's about how I said it. And he walked away and I heard him go to the bartender and say, una más agua, por favor, making fun of me. Anyway, but on the other hand, I was at a pho restaurant, a Vietnamese restaurant in Bend, Oregon, and the waitress told me she had never heard anybody order as flawlessly as me. But you know, they do work on tips, and this is honestly a part of the story. The next morning I got a call from my credit card company that my credit card number had been stolen. So who's to say? Anyway, long story short, today we're reviewing this Dunbarton Sin Compromiso, and I'm going to get it lit up and get back in a second. All right, enough of those stories, but I just got this cut here, and I do want to talk a little bit about the appearance, because man, it's a nice looking cigar. Dunbarton does really a good job on stuff like that, and you can see the nice cedar sleeve that says the name of the cigar on it. And we take that off, slide it off here, and we have a very nice dark San Andres Negro wrapper on it. And the story behind that wrapper, supposedly, if Steve Saka actually spent 3 growing seasons checking out to try to perfect this particular crop of tobacco to put it in this cigar. And it kind of befits the name. Sin Compromiso is Spanish for without compromise. And so it's kind of the motto of Dunbarton when they were getting started about 5 or 6 years ago, and chose that name for this cigar. And this, I think, was their original cigar. I'm not 100% sure of that, but I think it probably was. Really beautiful box press on it. This was the torpedo size. I think it was 6.2 by 54 is the gauge on it. So I'm looking forward to getting it lit up, and I will get back to you in a minute. All right, I'm back, and I'm down to the end of this Sin Compromiso, and got to tell you, it's a very good cigar. But point out, because I did a video last week, if you recall, on how long it takes to smoke a cigar. The review I did last week was for one that really lasted a long time. I'm on less than 40 minutes here, and this is a pretty big cigar. So the difference, I think, in this case is packing. It was packed pretty loose, tight enough. I mean, it's fine, but made it smoke pretty fast. Wonderful cigar, though. Construction has been good. I did a little relight right before I turned on the camera for this particular part of the video, but that was it. I mean, it burned straight down, all the way down. So construction-wise, really good. I got to give you some history in my background smoking Dunbarton cigars. Is I reviewed the Sobremesa Brulee, and I reviewed the Umbagog, and I reviewed the Red Meat Lovers. And I have not reviewed this, but I've smoked, I don't know, 4 or 5 at least of them. I'm very familiar with it. Every one I've had. One thing about Dunbarton that I really think is true of every one I smoked is consistency. They are very, very consistent, well made, every one, which is important because they're pretty high priced. This is $17.95, 18 bucks suggested retail. They're pretty expensive cigars, but they are good cigars. We'll give them that. Let's talk about flavor, because man, this is an interesting flavor profile. It started out with a pretty big kick of spice, pepper, and that went down pretty fast. So after a third, it was almost gone. But the early flavor too was coffee, really obvious and pleasant coffee flavor, nice. And then a little bit of unusual wood came in, and I'm going to say hickory, because it had a little bit of a smoky taste, but not much. I mean, it isn't like a campfire, but it's reminiscent of that a little bit. So very complex and nice from that standpoint. And it's sort of settled into some of that and coffee and caramel and very nice flavor profile on it. So let's give this thing a rating. Talk about body first. I've seen this all over the map. I think on Dunbarton's website they say medium, and it's a little bit more than that, I guess, because of the pepper, but not too much. And it's offset by pretty smooth flavor, I think. In terms of overall smoking experience, man, this is a good cigar. I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10. It is probably one of the better cigars I've smoked. And like I said before, consistency, and that's important. With the price of cigars these days, you don't want a clunker. Somebody actually made a comment about that a couple videos ago and said, you know, I paid 15 or 20 bucks for a cigar, and it's no better than the one I bought for $8. If you want to see an expensive cigar, some quality and something extra from what you get from a $6 or $8 cigar, and this definitely offers it. Good review for Dunbarton Sin Compromiso, although as always, I struggle with that Spanish. All right, I will see you next time from Cigars and Other Dude Stuff.